Well, this is number 3 in my little, very short riffs, little sketches that I hope to develop later. But first of all, it's part of my effort to pass the baton in the event that I don't live beyond beyond 2019, which I hope I will. I think I probably will. But hey, why not? I've decided that that's my old year's resolution. That's my old year's resolution. I'm not sure what the New Year's resolution will be, but my old year's resolution is ere the year is out, I will have passed some of this stuff along that I think is really important. And the first one was about, I call it, I think, speedboats without ballast. That's, the technocracy where people really, can make a lot of money, knowing how to, create apps and program this and program that and do technology, but they have no idea of what humanity is all about, other than their own generation. So, and then the second one, I called it Death After Death or Life After Death. And that was about, hey, I'm pretty happy with the faith I got. And then, and I actually feel pretty sad about, I just wonder how, when these young folks get to my age, what's that going to look like, Oh, yeah, my hope for the future is they're going to freeze my body. Well, good luck with that. And as I said before in my previous recording, I just, that is so wrong. If, once again, the poor folks get the short end of the stick, and if you have money, you can live forever, but if you don't, you have to die. And then tonight, this one is about the whole idea about work. And wow, there's this philosophy that the millennials have, sort of introduced me to, and I guess, some books and stuff about, hey, what real success is, making your millions at 30 or 20 so that you never have to work for anybody. And okay, yeah, it might be nice, or if that, you really ought to be your own entrepreneur. That's the only way, so that you're working for yourself and not somebody else. You don't want to be working. You don't want to have a job. That's like the F word, but the J word. Don't have a job. Have a job and have to get up and go to work for somebody else and do what they say, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was just thinking about that, and, I read The 4-Hour Work Week, and I look at Tim Ferriss, and he's worked his ass off ever since and before. That guy ain't surviving on 4 hours of work a week. It's kind of hilarious when you think about it. And yeah, and I know the opportunities come along, and there's guys that Mark Zuckerberg, and of course Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. But I think what I see there is that those guys, they had people around them, and they had groups, and they created a company, and they maybe haven't, they were working for themselves, but ultimately they were working for stockholders, some of them. And it's just that social interaction of having to get along, doing some things you might not want to do and you might not be happy with people you might not particularly like. And I look back on my life, and I'm not talking from philosophy. I'm just talking my testimony. And I look back on the jobs I had, in the career I had in the Air Force, and I disagreed with a lot of stuff and a lot of people, and could have had a better career. But man, I wouldn't trade for it. The experiences that career involved for me and for my wife and for my kids, and the travel and just the missions, and oh my gosh, being part of a group dedicated to a particular mission and believing that was an important mission, and I wouldn't trade for it. So anyhow, I think that of Hewlett and Packard, and hey, it was Hewlett and Packard, and it was Jobs and Wozniak, and Bill Gates in the early days. I forget who he started his company with, but anyhow, and of course the Google guys that was Larry Page and drawing blank on that. Anyhow, the Google guys, you know. So being a Lone Ranger, doing your stuff, and I guess fundamentally I'm just saying that, you know, there are all sorts of successes, and, you know, working for a company is not necessarily evil, and it's not necessarily bad. And I just wonder if I had made it early and rich, and hey, that would have been nice. Who would I be now? You know, if I had not had to go to Vietnam, if I had not been assigned to France and to Germany and all that, if I'd stayed home and, you know, tried to figure out how to do my technological thing, I don't know. So I don't. Again, a subject for a further discussion, dialectic debate, all of that. I guess I'll call this one. Um, I don't know. Work ain't so bad. How about calling it that? Okay, I think that's it for tonight, for handing off the time. Bye.